Okay, we're live.
Well,
Hello, everybody. This is Malaika from Daastan, and today with us we have Rumaisa. Rumaisa, would you like to introduce yourself to the audience?
hello guys, hello Team Daastan, hello everybody that's viewing. So my name is Rumaisa Ahmed. On the NIC, I go by Rumaisa Reza. It's a nod to my father, the man, the love of my life. Other than that, I just wrote a book on personal finance. It's titled Old Money: The Millennial's Guide to Traditional Investment, and it has everything you can do offline. So you don't have to slave away at a keyboard or join a lot of groups to learn how to invest and get rich.
Right. So Rumaisa, like she said, she's an author, and she just recently published her book through Daastan about, which is titled Old Money. So, first question that I would like to ask you is, what prompted you to write a book that too about finance?
Okay, so I'll be honest, it was a research project with a person, and we were just looking into ways to earn money. And they were pretty old school, so they were not of this generation. And I have always been intrigued by okay, we have a lot of information overload. We have cryptocurrency, we have affiliate marketing, and all sorts of things. But there's an entire world that exists beyond all these. And how do I call it? Internet ki dunya. So I just wanted to learn more about those types of investments that are high risk but also high reward, such as real estate. I think that really got me hooked. And once I started learning, I didn't want to stop. And by the end of that journey, I had like a whole draft of the things we can do and we can learn to invest and earn. So that's how it came about.
That's wonderful. Would you like to tell us a few, from the top of your head, a few investment way methods without using the internet, which you talked about, which really inspired you?
Okay, so I think real estate is something that really inspires me. Okay, because as you can see, Karachi is one of the the inflation ratio of our property is so high. It's at par with Tokyo and New York and Bombay. How does that happen? So one trick that I learned was whenever there are new settlements and new places, you can invest in them at a very low cost, and you have to sit on that investment for a couple of years, maybe 5 years, maybe even a decade. But then it's an exponential profit. It's like at least 1200% or 1400%. So I think that's one thing that you can invest in, and anybody can do that. I think we also have a lot of places in our country. There are suburbs. There are places that you would call goats. Okay, the low-lying areas, obviously, but it's a very lucrative and profitable thing that a lot of people don't get into.
Right. A lot of people don't even have the provided sufficient information to invest. They don't even know if they're able to, if they're eligible to do that, or how to do that. But I'm guessing that your book does provide all of that information, right?
I think my book mostly provides how to spot a property to invest in. Or if you don't have any money, how to go to a bank and tell them, okay, so this is the property I'm investing in, and make sure that it's a good deal. So I think it gives you tools to start with nothing, if that's
Right.
like the thing.
Yeah. So, how did you wrote a finance book, and writing a book is not an easy task, of course. It requires a lot of effort. It requires a lot of time. And so, how did you're working? You're an engineer by profession, right?
Yeah, software engineer.
Yeah, you're software engineer by profession. You're working. How did you manage to find out the time and effort by your job that you would write a book alongside?
I think I'd have to give all the credit to my job and my profession for that, because software engineers have flexible times,
Right.
and it comes easy. Also, if you're passionate about something, writing is something that has always appealed to my senses.
Right.
Like I did an undergrad, a 4-year degree program in computer sciences, but
Right.
this it's writing that motivates me. Like if I had to get up every day and do one thing, it would be to write. So the question, I think it should be the other way around, that did my writing not get in the way of my work? It's not that how did I find time after my work to write, is that my writing usually gets in the way of my work because I slack off on that and I focus on researching and writing and reading a lot.
So that means you've been an avid reader your entire life. Yeah, or did you develop your reading interest later on in life?
Uh, it's like it's a childhood love,
Childhood love.
I'd say.
Did your bringing up, did your surrounding environment while you were growing up had anything to do with it?
Most definitely. So my mom's very much into literature, and my father was a master's in Urdu. And I grew up listening to stories. And I remember the first time my mom got me when I was 8, it was like Black Beauty by Anna Swell. So when you are given, I think we are stuck.
No, no, I can hear you.
Like, are you there? I think we
I
are
am here.
stuck.
I am here. Can you hear me?
I think we got stuck for a while.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Can you see me as well?
I can hear you now. I can see you. But your screen is frozen. Okay, I can see you. I think we have got each other now.
Okay. Um, yes, so you were telling me about your parents.
Yeah, so I think when you're given gifts that are books from childhood, it's it's a subtle, push in that direction. Obviously, so I've always been interested in reading. My mom read a lot to me, and yeah.
Right.
Oh gosh.
So you talked about how writing has been, uh, it's your priority. You love writing, absolutely love writing. So did your work in any way contribute, like your job for being a software engineer, did that in any way contribute to your writing a book, or vice versa? Did your writing a book contribute any way to your job?
How do I put it? Yes and no. So the thing about any field, especially software, is that you have to learn to communicate, and you have to like. Okay, I'll give you an analogy. In
Yeah.
software, what we do is we create flow charts. One thing happens, it leads to the next, it leads to the next, right? And writing a book is similar, is that you take somebody on a journey, step one, two, three, four, five. So the format or the idea is the same. As a software, in terms of that, I was also in the position of writing, software requirement gathering, and lead technical writer. That was my designation. So essentially, I was also writing there in that job. And when it comes to finance, I think again, it was purely research from my end. I wasn't even sure it was going to be a book or it was going to be my book. I have to thank Omar for that because I asked him, so I have all of this content. What do I do with it? And he said, why don't you get it published? And yeah, so I think
How long
it's
did
Omar.
Umar has been encouraging to, I think, everybody that he meets, he's been very encouraging to everybody. How long did it take you to write that book, having all of that information previously?
How long? So like there were like lots of breaks and massive breaks. So I'd say like 2 years,
Yeah.
because it was like I'd do one chapter and then I
Right.
would forget about it, sleep on it for the next 3 months. And that's how it came about.
Right. So did you ever think that you would become a writer, or was it just completely an unplanned thing?
I think it was pretty spontaneous. I didn't know that I would become an official writer, like an author that has like a tangible book with their name on it. That's not something I had envisioned ever. I don't think. Yeah, no, I didn't think so. But I have to like, yeah, I have to like take a few names over here of my friends because I've always
Yeah.
been writing, and they're the ones that are saying, you know, you write for others, companies, and clients. Why not have something of your own? So I think that was the push.
Do you think you're gonna write again another book, perhaps?
Oh, definitely.
Definitely. Oh, that's wonderful. Um, why did you name your book Old Money specifically? It's a very precise name for someone who would read it. Is there any story behind the name?
Yeah, I think it's because it's got some legacy around it. You know, this is the kind of money, if you read the first chapter, we talk about creating assets, right?
Right,
Homes, yachts, cars,
right,
property, uh, maybe planes. So it's about creating a legacy. And that's why the term old money is not like a spontaneous influx of income that comes and then you spend it and it's gone. The book is geared towards creating long term investment strategies and having that sort of patience to do that so that it lasts a while.
right, right. So that just made me think that Pelebi, you also talked about how your book was basically there's a lot of other investment methods, Bitcoin, and there's cryptocurrency, there's all of that through
But
technology,
none
through
of them are
internet.
in my book. You know,
Yeah,
my book is about stocks and foreign exchange.
yeah, that's what I'm getting at. That your
Yeah.
book does not include these internet methods, these technological revolutions. So, what's your take about um, technology in investment terms?
In investment terms, I think it's good, it's great, but it's also A, it's volatile, B, it's a little isolating, I'd say, because again, we are all slaving away in front of a screen all day long. You know, if you've watched any of the old movies, Hollywood movies, there would be a buzzing marketplace where everybody, investors, competitors would be there. You know, that human connection. I think we want to earn money for ourselves. We want to earn money so that we can have whatever life that we plan for ourselves. But we can't do that. We don't know how to live unless we get down there with the people. And I think technology is great. I personally also invest in crypto, okay, and I do internet marketing. So that's all earning through online methods. But I also think that the book is geared towards millennials and Gen Z people, and
Right,
all they know is online. They're not
right,
street smart. They're not uh, information laden in terms of other methods, like the more traditional ones. And I say to that, इंटरनेट से पहले भी दुनिया थी, दुनिया बिजनेस कर रही थी और लोग बहुत अमीर हो रहे थे, बिलियनर्स बन रहे थे. कैसे बन रहे थे? So, you know.
right, definitely. So you've talked about all these methods, uh, internet ke pehle wale time ke and everything, and you've talked about them in your book as well. Are any of the methods that you personally employed?
Yeah, I have like dealt with stocks a lot. Again, that's also internet, but it's not. So I had an account when I was 14. एक ही दी अब्दुल करीम रेड्डी का लिया था कराची स्टॉक एक्सचेंज में और oil and gas companies में invest किया था over a summer. I think that was really interesting because um, again, it's a very slow margin of profit, but it's definitive. So yeah, that's one thing. The other that I really like is again foreign exchange.
Right.
The obvious है. And with the way dollar plays like hide and seek with us, you know, the way it swings up and down in different extremes.
Yeah.
God forbid. But yeah.
Right. So, besides, you're a person of many talents, as we've seen. You're a software engineer by profession. You wrote a book on finance. And you also told me that you're studying to be a therapist. What exactly drove that? What exactly was the motivation behind that?
Reinventing myself, learning more, also understanding human mind. You asked me about my next book. It will probably be on mental health or understanding human nature. And I think again, it's it's one of the most intriguing things in life, isn't it? To be able to understand another person's mind. Think that's what words do. It's the only advantage we have over every other species. We can communicate and we can understand. I say something, you understand it.
Right,
So it's just taking another step, I think. I think literature and psychology, they're very well connected.
right. So that's why you're interested in studying therapy. That's understandable. You also mentioned how you're big on content creation and you're obsessed with content creation that these days. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I just came back to work. I took a work hiatus for about 6 months
Right,
since November. That's when my book came out. And I came back to work, and I am a content marketing specialist. So it's what I do every day. I wake up every day and I research on topics and I write. And one thing that really gets to me is that there are lots of content marketers that work on these projects. They are creating content that is driving traffic to other people's websites.
right,
But how many content marketers say, okay, so I understand automobiles, or I pick medicine, or I pick one domain, and I'm not going to be a content creator anymore. I am going to try my hand at this business. I think that transition doesn't happen. So
right,
again, I'm trying to like see if that happens for me. Maybe.
right. That's nice. You're trying different things as well, like we've already discussed. So uh, this is most of what I had to say. Do you have anything you would like to tell the audience? Any advice you would like to give to anybody who would read your book or just general audience?
I think one thing I'd advise everyone is to read more books, read more, experiment more, and go out there. I think one thing that really bothers me is that a lot of people are stuck in the same profession or the same mindset for long periods of time, and that we
Right,
don't get a break. So I think the more breaks that you can have, because we just have one life. So anything we want to experience, anything we want to experiment with, it's going to happen in this in these 6 or 7 decades that we have. So
right.
yeah, I just encourage people to live more, well, be more authentic with themselves and do whatever they want to do. Just explore, experiment.
Really love that advice about being authentic to yourself. I feel like that's very important in today's generation, more specifically, because we're so absorbed in social media and online stuff that we just completely forget to be with ourselves, just purely be. So yeah, I agree with that completely. Um,
Yeah,
this is it from my side. Is there anything else you
that
would
you
like
do.
to say?
No, thank you for having me, Malaika. It was nice chatting with you,
Thank
and
you
it
so
was an
much.
absolute honor.
Thank you so much for coming here and talking with us and with the audience. It was an absolute honor for us, actually. It was really nice talking to you. It was wonderful talking to you. And I would encourage everybody to go out there and read your book because it looks like it's wonderful and it teaches you a lot of things. So I would encourage everybody to do that. And this is it. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. And thank you again, Ramesa, for attending.
Thank you.
Allah Hafiz.
Lafis.